Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Claudia and you are at What Would CJ Do? It's my new channel and I hope you'll stick around to see what's going on with it. In my introductory video for this channel, I gave you a little bit about a photographer who discovered something pretty profound when he taped words onto vials or glasses of water. And so there's a book that he wrote about that, and he was featured in a movie, and that information is going to be down below. So what I want to talk about today is my own experience. When I began understanding the power behind our words, I didn't really understand how they could be so profoundly impactful. And so I'm going to share my story with you about that. I had a client who had been coming into the office off and on for about 2 years. And in this particular visit, it had been a few months since I'd brought it up. I asked if she was still having the problem. And in the course of the conversation, she had not been utilizing the protocol. She did have all the materials to do so, but was just not confident or thought maybe it was going to take too much time. So I offered to show her how to do that. I got out the protocol and went over the steps with her. And all the while I'm thinking to myself, why bother? She's not going to do this. But I was giving her the instructions anyway. And she left armed with the instructions, and I ended up with this horrible feeling inside. And you know what I'm going to say. I was out of integrity. I did not give her all the steps. And I went home uncomfortable, like I needed to call her, but that little nagging thing that was saying, she's not going to bother anyway, don't bother with it. So that night, I'm coming down these steep set of stairs, the lights are out, and I missed a step. And in doing that, the momentum starts, and I missed another step, kind of went upside down. My leg hung up on a landing where the post was. I went around the corner, but the leg stayed, and I heard this tearing like you're ripping fabric. When I got to the bottom, I asked myself, propped myself up and said, what were you thinking? And I immediately knew that I had missed 2 steps on that protocol. And of course, what I needed to do was straighten that out. So the doctor did confirm I had torn the entirety of tendons, ligaments, meniscus. Just that whole ball of stuff in there was kind of a big mess, and that it would be about a 9-month healing process. And so I went home armed with some medicine and that, knowing that, and the first thing I did was call her and straighten out my out of integrity place. I mean, talk about how embarrassing for me to even think that I would do that, but that's how we learn, isn't it? And offered to set her up to come back in and do the protocol on her so that she could see how simple it was and help her to do it for herself. Okay, so then I go home, I do start the protocol, my protocol on me, because I was trained in a holistic clinic in which the spirit is important, the mind is the builder, and physical is the result. And what I had with being out of integrity is you're not in alignment, you're not happy with your own self. So I had to get happy with myself first. That was straightening it out with the client, being accountable for that, and money back in with me. And then I started on the treatment protocol. And what I'll do in a separate area is go ahead or provide for anybody who wants to know what that protocol was. They can message me or email me, and that information will be down below. So the result of lining up myself with my inner happiness was number one. Number two, the protocol that I was trained in provides materials that aid in the forces of the body's own building ability, and we know you can watch it heal, so we know that that's available. And then to make sure we didn't have a lot of swelling and lymphatic buildup, so that it only had to be drained once. And so over a 3-week period, this thing was almost completely correct. Of that was completely cleared up. I was walking, turning, driving, doing everything somebody would normally do. I was cautious for another, just added a couple weeks onto it, but beat the daylights out of 9 months, or, you know, a little bit one way or the other. So you understand what I'm saying? When you realize that you're not happy with who you are, what you've said, what you've done, that's the first thing you got to do, is fix it within. Okay, so that's if you ask CJ, that's what CJ would do. And what I'd really like is for you to leave your comments down below. If you have a situation, something that is not right, doesn't matter if it's an illness, a disease, or something else, there are protocols that can help. I'm not giving medical advice. I want you to know that. These are therapies. You're going to get 100 examples of what not to do, because I've done all the what you don't do's in order to figure out what works and how to get yourself back in alignment. Leave a comment down below for me. I promise I will address it. Now, if you don't want me to address it here on this channel, then send me an email and I will address it there. And for the first 3 weeks or a month or so, there won't be any charge for those. So thank you so much for joining me. I hope you understand what I'm saying. You're more than you think you are. You have this amazing healing ability. Utilize it. And that's what I'm here to do, is to help you figure that out. Okay, until the next video, I want you to know I love you this much. You're way more than you think you are. And until I see you at the next video, be well.